Now at 5:30, we're tracking a developing story out of Lincoln County right now. A fatal crash has blocked part of US 27.
A robbery attempt in Lexington left a man with a gunshot wound to the stomach overnight. We're tracking the latest on the investigation into that.
Citizens are safe. The city is stable.
A curfew put in place in Baltimore following rioting there seems to be working. The police commissioner says the city did calm down overnight.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you as Kentucky Derby Week rolls along in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. It's going to be the great steamboat race later today. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith, and you guys were just discussing the Pegasus Parade, I guess, on Thursday.
Yeah, that's always fun.
So hopefully the weather will hold out. It looks like we are having a little bit of a chance for some kind of rain that day, but right now it's looking pretty good, and Micah is here to tell us more about it.
Yeah, and it really does look good, especially for all those events, activities. That looks pretty nice. Unfortunately, tomorrow for that parade, there will be a few showers. But as of right now, let's talk about what's going on currently. We're in the 40s. It's on the cool side, not the cold side, not the chilly side. It's just cool outside. Maybe a light sweater, light coat will be needed. 67 this afternoon. You won't need that at all. It'll feel quite nice, but mainly dry. Slight chance of rain. I just can't rule it out. 10–20%, and that's about it. And we go through tomorrow with a few showers. And then comes Oaks Day, Derby Day. It looks fantastic with even 80s in the forecast. Your 7-day comes up in just a few minutes.
Look forward to it, and we'll see you shortly. And we begin on WKYT with a developing story we're tracking this morning out of Lincoln County. Kentucky state troopers tell us at least one person is dead after a crash.
This happened just before 2 o'clock this morning on US 27 outside Stanford. WKYT Sean Moody is at our live desk with more on what we know so far. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. This crash has US 27 shut down in both directions. We're going to go to a live look at the accident scene right now. There were 2 vehicles involved, and we're told one person has died in that crash. That crash is on US 27 near 1247. That's a little bit south of Stanford Middle School. 2 vehicles collided. One flipped onto its roof and caught fire. State police said one person in that vehicle died. Firefighters said they had trouble keeping that fire out, and they haven't been able to get close enough to that vehicle to see if there's anybody else inside there. Now, 2 people who were in the other vehicle were not hurt. We're told an accident reconstruction crew is on the way to the scene to try and figure out what led to the crash. At the live desk, Sean Moody, WKYT.
All right, thank you so much, Sean. New this morning, we're tracking a crime alert in Lexington. A man's in the hospital. Police say he was shot during a robbery.
It happened at an apartment complex on Codell Drive that's off Old Todd's Road. Let's go to WKYT's Mark Barber now, live at the scene with more about what happened. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Police say that about 1:30 this morning, 4 robbers told a man here at the Cedarwood Apartments on Codell Drive to give them his wallet. Investigators say when the man didn't, he was shot. Now, we're told that this man was hit in the stomach. 15 minutes later, we're told first responders got here and took him to the hospital. The robbers took off. Officers say they are working to get more information from the man who was shot, but they tell us it could take some time because he is still being treated for the gunshot wound at UK Hospital, and there is a language barrier. Now, there have been several recent robberies in this area of Codell Drive. In 2 of the robberies, victims had cars and wallets stolen from them at gunpoint. Investigators tell us if you ever feel like something isn't right, acting quickly could save your life.
Take heed, trust your gut. It's typically right, and make changes. If you feel that way, drive around the block again, call the police, call a friend, call a neighbor. But just pay attention to what you feel and listen to those feelings.
As for the robbers in this latest case, police say they took off after the shooting. We're told that they brought in canines to search for them, but so far no arrests have been made. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
So parents are raising questions about a Lexington daycare after one mom says a toddler there bit her baby. Emily Keene took her 5-month-old baby Michael to an in-home daycare on Raleigh Road. On Monday, she said Michael was bitten several times by a toddler while the daycare owner was outside on a smoke break. Keene says what frustrates her most is that her son was helpless.
He can't say help, he can't get up, he can't move away. He just literally had to lay there and let this kid do it. And that's what it absolutely drives me crazy every time I think about it.
Poor little guy's got some bruising to the face there. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services says the daycare is not licensed. People who live near the home say they did not even know their neighbor was running a daycare service. So how do you keep something like this from happening? The Office of the Inspector General says to remember the 3 P's when you're picking a daycare. The first is paperwork. Is a license posted? Also premises, tour inside and outside the daycare center, and lastly programming. Observe the interaction between staff and children. So some good advice there to try and prevent anything from happening in a situation like this. I'm sure we'll learn more about this situation and we'll bring it to you as it becomes available.
The particular circumstances there, yeah, but it's interesting being unlicensed when there is, there are regulations that are supposedly in place.
All right, so we're switching gears now to the story we've been following all week long. There's relative calm now in Baltimore this morning following rioting and looting after the death of a 25-year-old named Freddie Gray who died in police custody.
Police say the streets are pretty much empty this morning compared to Monday night. Police say protesters last night were relatively peaceful. Police only made about 10 arrests compared to Monday night when they made more than 200. They say a citywide curfew helped them keep people calm. Local activists say this highlights issues between officers and the public.
It's important for us to establish a national standard for excessive use of force. We can't have Ferguson and Baltimore happening again and again.
The curfew will continue throughout the week. Results of an investigation into Gray's death are due by Friday.
One Baltimore mom is getting a lot of attention for how she reacted when she spotted her son out protesting, or really in this case, I guess she thought he was just causing more of a scene. Toya Graham, you can see, caught on video dragging her 16-year-old son Michael off the street and just smacking him. She says when she saw Michael, she didn't even think about the cameras nearby. All she could think of was that he could become the next Freddie Gray.
Is he the perfect boy? No, he's not, but he's mine. I'm just grateful that I was able to get him home.
Wow, you can catch the full interview with Toya coming up on CBS this morning after WKYT. Toya will also be making a live appearance. Well, closer to home in Cincinnati, the Black Lives Matter group will be hosting a solidarity protest tomorrow. A peaceful rally is planned at the Hamilton County Courthouse at 6 p.m. The protesters are demanding that the Baltimore curfew be lifted, even though it's been told to be very successful, and that other protesters be released from police custody. While there are some pockets of peaceful protesters in Baltimore, President Barack Obama made a statement yesterday saying the rioters that caused widespread damage across the city Monday are criminals.
5:37 is the time on WKYT this morning, and later this week some leaders of the community will be coming together in Lexington to talk about how to make the city a safer place. The Lexington chapter of the NAACP has teamed up with the city for a town hall forum. Lexington Police Chief Mark Barnard, along with corrections leaders and other community leaders, will be taking part. They say it's a timely forum, but it was not a result of recent events elsewhere.
Really doesn't have to do with Baltimore. It has to do with Lexington, Kentucky, right where we live. We've already put this in motion. This was scheduled before there was even a breakout in Baltimore. So we want to do what we need to do here so our communities can come together.
And this is a proactive thing that we talked about from day one, is we need to show people we're together and not far. We can have differences, and we can discuss them, but we don't want to put our heads in the sand. We want to be proactive.
Employment opportunities will also be presented at the forum. Again, it's scheduled for tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Winburn Middle School, and it is open to the public.
Well, a pizza delivery driver's family and friends are relieved a suspect in their loved one's murder is now behind bars. Police charged 30-year-old Antonio Lewis with murder and robbery. They say he stabbed 22-year-old Salahuddin Jitmood at an apartment complex on Trent Circle on April 19th. Friends say the family couldn't have peace until police found the person who killed him.
They need to know the name of the person so that they can work on forgiveness, because that's important to them.
Well, Lewis pleaded not guilty to the charges yesterday. Lexington police have not said what led them to Lewis, but they say more arrests are possible in the case.
An Eastern Kentucky woman says she was followed and harassed by the Perry County Clerk.
Because you've got a handicap.
Yeah, it's
played on this, and are you handicapped?
That's not your business. That's not your business.
The woman says that she shot that video of a man claiming to be the Perry County Clerk. She claims he followed her in his car after first pulling in front of her.
She has some concern about her safety based on being followed for quite a period of distance, and she felt threatened.
The clerk told the driver it was wrong for her to drive a car with a handicap sticker when she was not handicapped. But state transportation leaders tell us it's okay as long as she didn't park in a handicapped spot. Perry County Clerk Haven King didn't want to talk to us about that. Also in the video, the man claiming to be the clerk told the woman that he ran her license plate. But the state transportation cabinet says a county clerk does not have that authority.
Well, the U.S. Supreme Court has now heard arguments for and against same-sex marriage. Lawsuits challenging gay marriage bans in Kentucky and 3 other states brought the case to the Supreme Court yesterday. Some folks had been lining up outside the court since Friday of last week, hoping to see today's arguments in person. Some same-sex couples from Kentucky were among those at the Supreme Court.
In public, we're not real demonstrative of our affections and stuff, but today we did hold our each other's hands as we proceeded towards the court. It's very emotional, very invigorating.
Well, the Supreme Court is not expected to make a decision on same-sex marriage until sometime over the summer. They're thinking potentially late June, so pretty early in terms of in the summer.
Right. Of course,
We'll
they could
see.
issue at any time, but that's
Yeah.
traditionally when those opinions are released, or those rulings. 5:41 now, and let's check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on out there early on this Wednesday. Here's a look at Nicholasville Road there at Shady Lane. That's not far down from Central Baptist Hospital, Baptist Lexington, down towards Southland Drive.
Yeah, and we should remind you again about Man o' War. Potentially some long delays there starting at 9 o'clock this morning along Beaver Creek and Tates Creek Road. They are doing some paving work. There's been a lot of restoration projects on pavement around town, obviously, because of a pretty tough winter. Sometimes it's pothole repair, sometimes it's pavement work, sometimes it's just putting in new sidewalks or new streets. So just keep that in mind. That goes until 9 o'clock tonight.
Have to get it done, but it's a little sacrifice from time to time on the part of patient motorists, hopefully. Hey, it's good to have you along. We have a lot more news on the way on WKYT.
Well, have you ever heard of a cat with a sweet tooth? Maybe Sprinkles the cat needs to lay off the sprinkles. Why this tubby little kitty is tipping the scales at more than 30 pounds.
My wife and her family, when I came into the family, they had a 30-pound cat too. So these cats are huge, man. Showers will return to the forecast, especially for tomorrow. Then we'll look for 70s, 80s in the forecast as we slide off into the weekend. Show you that coming up next.